Hello friends, Tanya here for Spellbinders, and this is day 24 of the Crafty Advent Calendar for 2023. Let's open that last box. It's another die set, and it is an adorable layered little whale. I love this. What a way to end the Advent Calendar. I die cut the black portion of the whale from some black cardstock that is sprayed with some, I'm not sure if it's crooked broomstick or unraveled or decayed. It's sprayed with one of the distressed mica stains, and I honestly don't remember what it was. And then the belly is white cardstock that is spritzed with one of the gray distressed mica stains. And I really like how that turned out. I did put this, the black lays on the white, and you can see the spots through the black, and that adds a really nice detail on the back of our whale. There is one fin that you need to apply on the front of the whale, and the back fin, oh wait, opposite? Do you have to put each of those fins on? No, one of them is already attached. And then it has these cool blow spout drops. This is a whale just exactly like the whale in a bottle from June of 2023, which was one of my favorite months for all of the club's kits. We're going to use a bunch of them. This was an add-on. This is an add-on Glimmer foil that coordinates with the whole group. This is called Ocean Wishes. There are 4 sentiments and coordinating dies for each of them. Absolutely love these. They go with any ocean themed or whale themed cards or projects. I'm going to glimmer these with some polished brass, and I'm using a piece of hammermill cardstock that I had tried to do some reverse foiling on. But again, cardstock always has 2 sides. And I just used the other side, and look at how well that foiled. I trimmed these apart so I could put all of the dies on right away, because I think they were all a little too close to each other to do more than 2 dies at a time. So I trimmed those down, and we'll get those nicely centered on our sentiments. I'm able to use just one piece of washi tape to secure those dies in place. And then we'll take out my desktop die cutting machine. And I'm able to get 2 of these sentiments through the die cut at a time. Now, if I was using my larger die cutting machine, I could get all 4 of them in one crank. But look at that. These center up so beautifully. And I really love the mix of fonts on these Glimmer foil plates. If you don't have this Glimmer foil set, you can absolutely get this in the Spellbinder shop. I will have that linked below. If you received the kits from June 2023, you can create all of these projects, or all of this project. My gosh, like I made more than one. I know some days I did make more than one, but this time I only made one. I am layering up the sentiment I'm going to use on this card, and it says, "I love you deeply." Oh, I love that. There's one that, let's go on to the cardstock we're going to use. This is indigo. It's a nice deep navy blue. I have it in my spritzing box. I've got Wonderland Distress Mica Stain and Juniper Berry Distress Mica Stain. These are both from this year's winter collection. And I have some Distress Oxide spray in Salvaged Patina. I love this color of cardstock, but I really want to jazz it up a bit because we're going to do some foiling on this, and I want it to look very much like the deep ocean. So I've spritzed some of the Distress Oxide and the Wonderland, and then I finish it off with the Juniper Berry. Now we need to dry this before we can move on, and I did not cut this, well, all of this is at double speed, but I did not shorten the drying or the spritzing or a lot of the assembly because you all seem to be enjoying the full process. I do try to edit a little bit, and especially on my 10 card videos, there is a lot of editing to just get to the point because it's already a super long video. But this seems to be working with the single card videos. If you're enjoying these, leave me a comment below. Let me know if you want me to continue doing more frequent uploads or videos with just 1 or 2 projects. If there's a demand for it, I might make the time to do that. I'm making sure that all of this is thoroughly dried, and you can start to see this, or you can see this gorgeous shimmer and color combination. It almost looks like a galaxy. But we're going to use the Sending Waves Glimmer of the Month from June 2023 and some Moon Dust foil. I'm going to lay this foil down and put these gorgeous wave plates down. And then we're going to put this on a nicely heated up panel. Now, to try to keep these stable, I'm adding some Best Ever craft tape to the back of this, of both of these plates. And I was going to try to do the hinge method, but that isn't going to work out. So what I ultimately end up doing is putting the plates on the platform, then the foil pretty side down, and the paper on top of that pretty side down. Now, when I run this through the die cut machine, I'm going to only cover the plates, not the entire portion, because I don't want there to be any funny foiling or dents. Now, for the next section of waves, because we're going to foil waves all the way up this piece of cardstock, I do use the hinge method on one of the plates. Again, only going to cover the section that has the plates on it, and this foils gorgeously also. And there is one little more section that needs to be foiled. So I'm just going to add, cover the area with the part of the sheet of foil here that hasn't been used yet, and tape down my plate, run that through the machine again, and there is my entire panel that is glimmer foiled. Next, we're going to take the large die of the month from December 2022 called Blooming Heart. And there's this giant heart in there. We also are going to take the embossing folder of the month from June. Splish Splash is what it's called. I die cut the heart from some blue cardstock and then ran it through the embossing folder. We're going to take this lavender blue opal polish, which I've said it before. I think I've said it in previous videos. I don't know if you can get this particular color anymore. But there is a blue wisteria that's available in the Spellbinders shop that it does something very similar. I think it looks a little lavender. It's between lavender and blue. It does the same thing, but I think it shifts from lavender to blue instead of blue to lavender. This looks just gorgeous. I love this on a blue cardstock. And I'm just making sure that I get a light layer on the sponge so I don't get the gilding polish on the background, just on the raised areas, and that turned out stunning. Now we have a 5x7 card base. I did trim down this indigo panel to 6.5 by 4.5 inches and put a piece of flyer on the back of that. I'm trying to use up some of that extra stuff and adhered that to our card base. I added more of that flyer on the back of the heart for a little extra height, and we'll put the heavyweight block on top of that. I have started to list where you can get a heavyweight block in the description box below in my supply list. So if you're interested in that, it is linked there. And then we are going to start adhering our whales. I'm trying to get my placement here. I want to make sure that the whale tails stay on the card. I don't want them to get caught as you're trying to put them in and out of an envelope. Adding my smaller whale, and then we'll add our sentiment. Now that I have all of those right where I want them, we'll put the heavyweight block on it and move on to the inside of the card. We're going to use some waves that I actually foiled way back in June, and these are foiled with the Moon Dust foil. There are coordinating dies for these waves, and they are border dies. So you can cut one side of the waves or both of sides of the waves, and you can choose to have either of those be the upper part of the wave. I did foil these too closely together to die cut all at once, so I'll die cut one wave and then come back and die cut the other. I did use my my guillotine paper trimmer to trim these down just a little bit so the edges were even. And now I'm going to adhere them in the inside of the card. I'm making sure to place these just on the right side of that creased fold so that it doesn't interfere with the closure of the card. I did only put glue on the bottom portion of each of these waves, and I'm trimming off the excess on the side. Next, we're going to pull out the sequins from day 18 from the Advent calendar, these beautiful blue, purple, iridescent sequins. And the iridescent is about the same color as the moon dust foil. These go just beautifully with the whole color scheme of this card. So I adhered a few of those, and they really add a nice touch. This is my completed whale card for day 24. I had so much fun pulling out older products to me, and I hope you enjoyed this card as much as I enjoyed putting it together. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, now is a great time to do that. Check that description box below for all of the product that I used today, and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Until next time, here are a couple more videos I thought you might enjoy. Bye-bye.